Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the next part in our RPG Maker series. Today we are going to be making a dungeon over in this mountainous region, and that will allow us to level up and grind a bit to beat that undefeatable boss. We are also going to be changing the parameters of that boss, the amount of health he has, just to make the fight not last as long as it really should. So let's head on over to this mountainous region. So the way we're going to be making this dungeon is we are going to create a new map. We're going to select the dungeon tile set, and we're going to call this dungeon. We are going to make the width 20 and the height 20. And now that we have our blank empty map, we're going to right click on the dungeon and click the generate dungeon button. And as you can see here, we have some wall tile sets and some floor tile sets. We are going to be choosing this wall and this floor. Select OK. And here you have a small dungeon. Now we want to add some enemies into this dungeon because we want to grind and get some level ups. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and add some enemies into this dungeon and create some encounters. So we're going to right click on the dungeon, select edit, and under encounter steps we're going to change that to every 10 steps. And under encounters we're going to double click, we're going to select bat, select OK, and we're just going to keep on adding more enemies. Bat and slime is fine for now. Select OK. Okay, and as you can see, I've created two staircases, one leading up, one leading down. We're going to use the one leading up to be the way into the dungeon, or the way out. And we're just going to click here and create a quick transfer into the dungeon. Now we're just going to create a few floors for this dungeon. Okay, so as you can see, we've got 3 levels of the dungeon. You start off with a small area where you just fight some bats and slimes. You have to go through this maze where again you fight some bats and slimes, and then you get to level 3 where the encounters have decreased, and it would be leading you to these 3 chests here, and this is going to be a way to get out. So we're going to do a quick transfer. We're going to go back to overworld, and let's say that spits us out here, facing right. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a little mini boss here. We're going to have a minotaur. So if we right click, go to edit, change our encounters, go to the orc or the minotaur, specify by region ID. Now this would be how you specify actual tiles on the map rather than just a random encounter every 30 steps or so, or whatever you choose that to. You can specify this in an exact position. So as you can see, we have this R letter, which would be our region IDs. Now if we just paste one here, so you're going to come up to these chests and you're going to walk into this before you even open the chest. Or let's make it better safe than sorry and place this here in the middle, because you know for sure you're going to walk over that one. And then what we can do is go back into the edit and specify by region ID. We just place 1. Okay, so we have that set for region 1, and that's how you do battles by region ID. There is other ways you can do it. You can just create a new event and just go to battle processing, but it's not really you don't want to do that every time you want like something to spawn. The reason we have region IDs would be, let's say we had this room only be minotaurs and this room only be bats. You can set this region to 1 and this region to 2. If we just drew the number 1 in this entire region, then we know this room would spawn the minotaurs and this room would spawn the bats. So that would be the reason why you'd have those region IDs. And we can do that now. We can go to edit, select the bat to specify by region 2, and minotaur specified by region 1. So we know this room we're going to get bats, and this room we're going to get minotaurs. And it's a good way of having, like, you know, you could have like 50 enemies here in this list, but you want them to appear at different places, and that would be how you do that. Awesome, so let's test our dungeon. Let's go to the overworld and set our starting position. Okay, so here's our character. We're going to walk in this square. It takes us to this dungeon. And here we have the enemies to fight. Awesome. And it is just us, Harold, in our party. I did forget about that. So these fights will take a long time to do, just one guy at level 1. So clearly we have some balancing issues with the enemies. We're going to change the encounter to every 20 steps. And we're also going to add in more starting parties. You know, and this would be the way you do that. We're also going to have our bats have a max HP of 100, slime to be 200, and our minotaur to be 400. Awesome, so now we have a bigger party. Encounter rate should be less. Might not even see an encounter here. Awesome, and we have our maze here. Awesome, and we have our 3rd level of the dungeon here. And I'm just going to heal up, and let's try and take on these minotaurs. Awesome, so we defeat the minotaurs, and we have our chest for 100 gil, magic water, and a potion. Awesome, and we can leave. We also have this lady here who takes 1 potion from us, but levels us up. And if you remember from the first episode, we also have this little secret with over 9,000 gil. Let's make a shop so we can spend our gil. Hello, I have come to interrupt you midway through the video to ask for some feedback and some suggestions down in the comments below. Anything that you would like me to do in a future video, just let me know and I would gladly reply and would love to make a video about it. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'll let you continue on with the video, and like and subscribe if you enjoy. Okay, so here we have our little shop that we've created, and we're just going to make a shopkeeper. So we've just selected this lady, and we're just going to add some text here. Okay, and we have some text that asks us if we would like to buy anything or if we would like to sleep, and we've just got that as choosing one or the other. So when where's, we're going to go to page 3 and we're going to go to shop processing. Okay, and we've got one merchandise for a potion. We're just going to keep the price standard. At this point we've got 9,000 gold. We can get as much as we ever wanted. We're going to go for magic water. This shop is going to sell everything. Awesome. So here you see we have the choice for wares, which is the shop processing. Takes us through, we can buy all those. And when a bed is going to allow us to sleep for money, which will heal our characters. So when selecting bed, we're going to show text. Okay, and so when a bed, she's going to say the bed is just over there, and we're going to remove 100 gold. And we're just going to create an event here. The text is going to say sleep now. Show choices, yes, no. When yes, we're going to change HP of the entire party. And we're just going to increase by 500. We're just going to change TP, MP. We're going to do this to all of them. I think MP is only 100, so we're going to do 100. TP, we're going to do 100 again. When no, nothing. So we're going to Control C this, Control V to copy paste, and we're just going to set priority to same as characters. Now for our shopkeeper, we want to access the event from this spot. We don't want to walk around and talk to her, we want to talk to her from here. We're just going to copy this event page and create a new one here and paste it. We're just going to get rid of the image. And we're going to set it to below as characters. And all this here, we're just going to simply clear event page. But we're going to keep the image. So now we have the actual shop processing and the NPC herself. So let's test that. Here we can buy, sell, and we have no money yet, but we can open that chest to get money. So now we've opened that chest, we can buy some stuff, and we can change the amount, so we can get 15 potions, get 10 magic herbs, get 20 stimulants. And we can even a bed. The bed is just over there. We've lost 100 gold. And we can sleep, which would change our states to full. However, there's no animation for the sleeping, and we could already go to sleep if we wanted to. So really, we want that to change. So when yes, we're just going to fade out screen. So we're going to fade out screen, wait 60 frames, and fade the screen back in. We also want our condition of when yes to know that we've already paid for it. So if we go back into our shop, so the way we're going to do this is with variables. We are going to set a variable, we're just going to choose 0001 to bed paid, click OK, and we're just going to set this to 1. So here you can see we have the control variables bed paid equals 1, so when the variable bed paid equals 1, it's going to allow us to do this. So the way we're going to control this bed that's going to allow us to only sleep in it after we've paid for it would be with a conditional. So if we go over to conditional branch, we're going to select variable 1 if bed paid is equal to the constant 1. Okay. If bed paid equals 1, then allow us to sleep. If not, show text. You haven't paid for it yet. So we have all this. We're just going to Control-C, Control-V and all this into here. It's gonna ask us if we'd want to sleep now. After we click the enter button, it's gonna read if we have already paid for the bed. If it has, it's gonna let us sleep. If not, it's gonna say we haven't paid for it yet. Awesome, so let's test it. First we need money. Awesome, so let's try and sleep first of all. It says we haven't paid for it yet. Okay, so let's purchase the bed. The bed is just over there. Sleep now. Awesome, we slept. So, just to recap, conditional branches. Great way to have something like this scenario where you have to pay for it before you can do it, or let's say you have to have an item in your inventory before you can get past a certain area, before you can speak to someone, you know, things like that. Great for puzzle games. Let's say you need to pick up a key, you can do a conditional branch. Whereas so let's just go into edit here. If our variable that we set, bed paid, is equal to the constant 1, which is what we set it to, then we can have our event play out. We can also do this with switches, actors, enemies, or let's say you need a certain amount of gold to get past a certain area. You could say, well, if gold is equal to or greater than 9,000, yeah, and then we can have, you know, something play out from there. So let's do that now. Let's test out these conditional branches. So we're just going to create an event here, which is just going to be on player touch. So if we walk over it, and this is going to be a conditional branch, and we're going to have if gold is equal to or greater than 9,000, then we can show text and say it's over 9,000. So this isn't going to do anything unless we have gold over 9,000. It won't play if we don't have that. So as you can see, it's here. So as we as we enter the tent to do the secrets, it shouldn't play anything because we don't have over 9,000 gold. As we leave, we will have over 9,000 gold, so it should play. So let's test that now. So nothing's playing. We're walking past it. Nothing's happening. 9,001 gold were found. And the event should just be under us, so if we walk over it, it's going to say it's over 9,000. That's awesome. So, conditional branches, really, really powerful. You can do a lot with conditional branches. Okay, and that's going to be the end of this episode here. So, we have created a dungeon so that we can grind and get lots of level ups, so we can beat the undefeatable boss, and that will be happening next time. So thank you for watching this episode. We have created the dungeon with 3 levels so that we can grind and get lots of level ups so we can beat that undefeatable boss. We also have created a shop and an inn, shop/inn, so we can purchase items with our earned gold and sleep to recover our actors, our people. Next time we're going to add a forest area over here, another area so we can level up and grind. We're also going to add some quests, and we're going to be using a plugin next time which allows us to keep track of quests. So the plugins that I will be using within this series will be only yanfly's plugins, and as I mentioned previously, you can purchase them for around $5 for every single plugin. I understand some of you don't have the means to buy them, or simply don't want to buy them because you're just starting out and you want to just see how RPG Maker works. I recommend trying to get into working with plugins. The RPG Maker MV engine, it's fairly skeleton-esque without plugins. It's pretty bare bones. plugins really just add a next level to your game development. And it can be something so simple like a quest tracker. That's been it for today, guys. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed, and maybe share with a friend. Let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see next time, and we can work with whatever sort of suggestions you guys have, or if you have a certain video topic in mind, please let me know and I'll get onto that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.